In the past 6 years, Metallica have gone from cult status to become one of the most prominent heavy metal bands in the world. Earlier this year, they were selected to represent the metal category at the Grammy Awards presentation, and their song One made a very strong showing on the Billboard singles charts in America. Also, they made a promotional video for One, ending their stance against doing that. Recently, we had a chance to go to Hamilton. We went to Copps Coliseum and spoke to band members Lars Ulrich and Kirk Hammett. We also talked to the crew that make the Metallica show what it is, the sound, lights, staging, and special effects guys. And most importantly, the fans who have supported Metallica since the outset. As part of our special, we'll have some bits from the Metallica home video, Cliff 'Em All. And at the end, great giveaway, so stay tuned. Metallica, Justice on Wheels, a comprehensive look at probably the most influential band in metal today.
Metallica are a thing unto themselves, to be honest with you.
To imitate is to create. You have to start somewhere.
It all comes from the music. You have to know the music inside out.
I think we're very, very honest about our natural sort of growth and development.
Metallica will just hit home and hit it hard. You know, they get to the point.
I was talking to some of the crew before the show while they were setting up, and there's an amazing affection and respect for the band. Is it a family situation out there?
We hang out together. I mean, we're all buddies. I mean, it's like, you know, if you travel around with all these people for a year and a half, I mean, it's hard not to become friends. We're pretty easy to get along with everyone in the band, and it's just, we all hang out together as much as we can.
I saw an amazing respect, too. I mean, these guys come from all different backgrounds, different ages, different, interests, but they respect this band and what this group has got to say. It was very impressive.
Well, like I said, it's all a mutual sort of thing. We respect them because these guys are the best in what they do.
Musically, this is a bit of a different sort of thing for you, right?
Yeah, I enjoy it though. I like Metallica, a lot of energy and that. They're pretty nice guys and, no complaints at all.
What's like the hairiest situation you could run into during a show?
With who? With Metallica?
Yeah.
I once had my arm pulled out of a socket at a show in Houston a few years ago, yeah. James used to jump into the crowd and I used to jump in and get him out, and I got my arm pulled out of its socket one night, so that was pretty hairy, I guess, not too pleasant, but, yeah, that's pretty bad. I mean, there could be worse things than that. But,
that's pretty bad. How many instruments are you working with at any given time?
What, guitars?
Yeah.
He only takes 3 on the road. Like some guitars will take like a dozen, maybe. Like Kirk uses a few more, but I only have to look after 3, so it could be worse.
I would think with the speed approach to playing that he'd be breaking strings light. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, some nights he breaks. I think the record so far is 5 in a night. He wants to put 5, but I mean, last few nights has been pretty good. We've had a good run, so let's touch wood and hope it keeps up.
What's special about doing sound for a Metallica show?
I think Metallica as a band are more of a concept sound as opposed to a sort of a general rock and roll sound. It's like, okay, you can do an overall sound, but it doesn't suit Metallica. It sounds real sort of flat and not very powerful unless you get some sort of bottom end and some power behind it. You have to create the power.
How's that different from any other rock and roll gig that you might do?
I think everything else is much easier, actually. Metallica are a thing unto themselves, to be honest with you.
Now, when one thinks of an arena show, you think about everything like being completely worked out, cue to cue, everything just being as tight as possible. Is there any room for improvisation and changing the show? Really?
All the time. Metallica are full of that. I mean, if they played the set twice in a row, it would be amazing. Every night's a different thing, literally.
Really?
To the way they play, to the way everybody feels, the way it's going to go over.
You ever get caught by surprise?
All the time.
Give me an example. What happens?
It's endless. I mean, when they change songs, I'll drop a song, or sometimes they might suddenly throw a song in that they haven't even told me about. It's like, oh, let's do Four Horsemen or Leper Messiah or something. It's like, just go for it. It's like, what can I do? I've just got to make it louder. End of story,
It's interesting though. It's interesting. As I said, it's a different concept to any other band because they are like. They play all the time, you know, it's like a wall of sound. So you have to create this wall of sound and try to make it listenable, you know, to make it sort of come over as one thing. I mean, nobody ever sort of shuts up to let somebody do a solo or anything. It's always like, that's it, we're playing. I'll sort it out as it goes along.
How much are the fans a part of the show for you?
Oh, 100%. They have to be. I mean, this is what I'm saying. It's like other people may come and see Metallica and think, what's that? You know, but the fans who are into Metallica, they understand what's trying to be captured with the energy involved. The band just ooze energy. It's like, and all I've got to do is try and capture that energy and put it over to the masses, you know.
Now the lighting setup is kind of unique here because towards the end of the show it starts to break down and stuff. What's that mean? Is that something special for you as a setup?
As it breaks down, there's like 4 of us on the lighting crew. We each have our certain gigs that we do. When the trusses come in, I have a certain amount of stagehands that I work with, and I just tell them what to do from each time.
Is there any extra sort of safety things you got to deal with?
There's a lot of safety matters. With each individual light that's hung up there, we have a safety cable around it just in case. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Everything gets a safety cable. Around the main truss.
You ever sort of crossed into the danger zone there where you thought, oh my God, what's going to happen next?
Fortunately, haven't had any problems like that. Yeah, so it's been a pretty safe tour so far.
Do you get together with the band before they start a tour and they say, look, here are the ideas that we want you to represent visually, and then you work it out with them?
No, generally what happens is they call me, I go and get the music, I listen to the music over and over and over till it's in my subconscious, and then something comes out like this looks here.
We were very lucky in that we found a guy named John Broderick who has been, you know, is a veteran or has been around for quite some time, done Aerosmith, Deep Purple, Rainbow, Scorpions and so forth, but hasn't actually done any hard rock metal stuff for about the last 6 years because he was getting very fed up with the sort of way it was all just ending up being cliches and so forth. And he, you know, we sat down and told him that this was our first time out in the arenas. We really wanted to put a visual together that was an interesting visual, that was a different visual, that was something that no bands had done before, but also was a visual that was subtle enough that it was not the selling point. You know what I mean? That it didn't come across like we were just trying to sell a stage show instead of just Metallica out there playing music.
They wanted something different. They didn't want the Iron Maiden look, the heavy metal look. They didn't want the Judas Priest look at all. They wanted it to be different. They didn't want lots of beams. They wanted it to come from the meaning of the album, because if you read the lyrics, as any fan has, who has memorized the lyrics, you know what this band is about, is that they're about anti-war and anti-injustice and things like that.
Do you ever get partway through a tour, look at the setup and go, my God, this is all wrong?
Sure.
And then what?
You change it.
Yeah?
You
What's it
go-
like? How do you do that?
You go into a full panic and you stay up for several days and you just change it around till it works. Sometimes I go out and I'll take a tour over from someone else. They might have to leave and go do another tour, or the band wasn't happy with them, and then you do the same thing. You change it around to make it what you need, but it all comes from the music. You have to know the music inside out, you know, better than the band knows their own music. I can tell the band at any point in any song what any band member is playing. They can't do that with each other.
I understand that something special with the statue where it is built up over the night and then crumbles at the end. How hard is that to pull off?
It's very easy now because we've done so many shows. It's just like going to bed. It's so easy, you know what I mean? We've done so many shows. I'm pretty good at it now.
What's the material made out of, and how easy is it to move around?
Okay, it's made of fiberglass. It's got a fiberglass skin. It's polystyrene inner. So it's really we have transported inside of 2 set cards, which is just a statue. The rest of it's transported in another 6 set cards. We've got 1 semi for the set. It's
very light. It's ultra light system. It's really like to move around. It's like about 4 or 5 guys can move it easy.
I understand that when the lady came down last night, she just about dropped her head on Lars. Is that true?
Yeah, we actually hit the set last night, which was a little bit of an accident because we don't like hurting the guys, but obviously if it happens, the guys are all right. They enjoy it. You know what I mean? It's a good laugh.
They enjoy having pieces of the set fall on them?
Well, it didn't actually hit them. Let's put it that way. It was close. It knocked these 2 cymbals over here, and it landed on Lars. He just looked over and smiled. It was all right with me.
Create this stuff for them, or do they come to you and say, look, this is what we want to do, can you make it?
These guys had a design of what they wanted, and so the lighting designer came to me and said, all right, this is what we want, and then I worked with him to make like his, like, you know, what he envisioned, you know, made it happen, and then I added a few of my own things. So this was like a collaboration, you know, of what they wanted and what I could spice it up with and everything. So,
what's the toughest part of your gig?
Getting up in the morning. After that, it's pretty much smooth sailing. I guess the stuff up in the lighting truss, because I got to go up in the lighting truss and climb around up there, which isn't really that bad. It's just some days just climbing up the lighting truss is just like a royal pain. But I mean, it's not really the hardest job. So kids out there, this is like really pretty an easy job, you know. There's a lot of paperwork involved, you know. You got to get clearances from the fire department and everything. And sometimes you have to do demonstrations. They want to come down and see what you're going to do during the day. So they'll say, like, what's the biggest thing that you have? And you got to set off, like, your biggest device and stuff. I would say there's probably about 60 or 70 individual little things.
Do you handpick a lot of the guys that work on this tour?
A lot of them I try to keep with me, like truck drivers. All the truck drivers out with me all come from AC/DC straight to here. And like Pyro came from AC/DC with me, and Dougie, one of the carpenters, came with me. The rest of the guys were in Europe with Metallica touring, so they came with them because I didn't do the European portion of the Metallica tour. So they were already there. But when I can get some of the guys I like in, I do, because especially with the truck drivers and people like that, because you need people to get from the last gig to the next gig. Because although our day starts at 9 in the morning, if they don't get there, we don't start. So the gig really starts when you load out the last gig. And without them, you know, you can't do nothing. So I like to get the ones I know would go the extra yard for you.
Jake, what's the area of the whole tour setup that could potentially have the worst snags for you?
In which snags do you mean? Like
technically?
Well, part of my job is to advance the shows well in advance with the local promoters, you know, in this case, Canada CPI, and with their rep, and to make sure that they have enough power in the building, whether we can hang the full system in the roof, and the stage size is big enough, and of course the labor force and the food. If you advance that properly, then you really shouldn't have any snags. Of course there always are. If it was all smooth, they wouldn't need me, would they? The biggest problem we have with security is the advanced press before we come into town. I think some of the people think that because a car gets stolen or a woman gets assaulted or something like that, when Metallica is in town, that it doesn't happen the rest of the year. It happens the year round. And I think they think that we bring these people in especially for it, you know. And I guess that's a little annoying. And then buildings and press call other towns. And so when you get into a city, you have a bad rap before you've even got a chance to prove yourself. That's the biggest headache. And they make you, after listening to secondhand information, everything gets blown out of proportion. So when you're coming to do security, they want to put more guys than really necessary, you know, which then costs more for the band and things like that, because on bad reports. So the news would be the worst aspect of security.
I don't do everything all the time, but it's just kind of keeping an eye on everything. And it's mostly band related. I mean, Jake deals with most of the production stuff in the show, but it's mostly making sure the band's happy, making sure the band get up on time, get to places on time, do interviews like this and other ones, phoners, various things. Just, you know, it's all band related with me and overall. the other thing that I generally deal with is the security. I'll come in each day and deal with the local security, have security meeting with them, make sure that they know that the guys that are in the barricade between the band and the audience know how to deal with the kids that sometimes come over the barricade, because sometimes, unlike this show, we'll do a general admission show where it's just open seating on the floor, more like open standing. And the kids will just shove up against the barricade and sometimes try to get onto the stage, and sometimes, you know, sort of a rowdy crowd, you might say, you know.
What do you do when they get all pressed in so tight there that obviously people in the right up front are going to have trouble breathing?
Well, we have a special addition to our barricade, which is starting to be done on most of them now, which is a step up. So it allows the security guards to stand on a platform that's inside the barricade and pull the kids out. So, you know, most of them like it. I mean, you know, we'll always go back and forth across the barricade and see if any of the kids want to get out. But Metallica fans are pretty diehard, and most of them will just choose to stay there. I mean, unless, you know, sometimes people pass out and they get crushed and they get hurt, but we've never, ever had any serious injuries occur during our tour. Excuse me, let's see who's calling, shall we? Production, 2 names for the guest list. This is another part of my job, is the guest list. Or we call it the pest list. Okay, go ahead. Martin Moxey, M-O-X-Y, M-O-X-E-Y. Who's guest? Okay.
What do you do when this one's over? What do you do when you get home?
What do I do when I get home? I don't get off my couch.
The rowdiest crowd so far, I'll tell you. We love it!
All right, what is it about Metallica makes them special?
They're great, man.
Balls. Great.
What is it? They don't give a damn about anything. They're true to themselves. They're true. They don't care. They write what they want to say, and it's right against everything else.
They created the wave that everyone else is riding.
Yeah, you think so? How come?
Because they were the first.
They were original, man.
Metallica are talking about madness and war and stuff like that. Does that have special meaning for you?
Nah, they talk about everything that's going on today, man. They try and make sense. They're trying to talk to the people at the heads of society, trying to tell them what's going on. You know, because like everybody nowadays are getting all of this glam crap and everything else. Metallica will just hit home and hit it hard.
So if they're talking about real serious issues, how are they going to reach the people who don't know what's happening?
They already have.
You gotta listen to
They can't reach the people that aren't listening. The only people that are going to listen to Metallica are the people that are like rockers, true fans, and everything else, right? And it means a lot to us, you know, anybody who cares. But for anybody outside this circle, forget about it. They'll think, oh, metal, and they get into the typical stereotypes, and they'll just throw it away. They'll call it garbage. They're posers.
The Metallica fans seem incredibly dedicated and at times very serious. They don't seem to bring a party attitude to the show.
Well, I think that's too easy to just limit it to once, you know, and say this is how Metallica fans are, because I think what's quite interesting about our situation at the moment, excuse me, is that we seem to be appealing to a lot of different groups, which is a lot of different groups of people, where it's too easy just to say, you know, white male 12 to 17, you know, it's You know, because you get the party people, you get the people that are very into the lyrics, which are probably some of the more serious people. You get the people that are very into just the energies that are being created. You get some of the people that are into some of the musicianship and some of the maybe more musical, intricate things that we do. You get some punks, you get some of the more sort of yuppie kind of Village Voice, Rolling Stone kind of people, you know, who don't really generally like metal, but really like Metallica because they feel that Metallica has something slightly different to offer than one of the other metal bands. So, you know, it's just so many different kinds of people that just to sort of limit it and say, your fans seem very serious, I think there's a little more to it than that.
Metallica are known for keeping in touch with their fans. You actually go out and meet and greet them. What do you learn in those situations?
I could go out there at any given night, you know, and start talking to the fans, and one of them will say a comment that's just like, what? What did you say? And it's like, it'll make me think, you know? And I like that. I like, you know, it's just an objective viewpoint to what we're doing. And a lot of the times, on this side of the stage, you won't get it like backstage, you know. But a lot of the times, it takes something like a fan to notice something that no one else would notice in the, you know, in the entire entourage, and I find that really surprising. But I mean, and when it comes to like, you know, talking with the fans and stuff, I was once a fan, and when I was going to concerts and such, I would go to every single gig hoping that I'd meet, you know, my idol, you know, guy, you know, that impressed me the most. And it never happened, but, you know, it didn't matter because I really enjoyed the band. And, you know, now that I'm in that position, I feel that, you know, well, these kids, you know, they've come to see the band. It'd probably make their day extra special if you go up to them and, you know, sign an autograph and talk to them. I'm not gonna ever space myself from being public. I mean, I'm not going to become a hermit because of the popularity of the band. I think that can lead to some serious psychological problems.
Another question, you got the album Kill 'Em All? Yeah? Can I borrow it? All right, well, if you know the song, sing along with us. This is titled Seek and Destroy.
I think we're very, very honest about our natural sort of growth and development and so forth, and I don't think we try and sort of hide it, you know what I mean? I think some people, you know, if they hit upon a formula that's quite successful, you know, oh, well, we sold 1 million records this way, let's just keep doing it this way, even though their spirits or something might be taking them elsewhere, or their thoughts or whatever. So we just always, you know, we do a record every 2 years. We always make sure that what comes out and what is written and what's put together is always what feels completely right and natural for us at that time. So we don't really suppress any of the sort of growth or the maturing or anything that's been in the last couple of years. And I think that the kids who've been following us respect and know that, you know, whether they necessarily maybe agree with the growth of the maturing, that they know that it's honest, and that's something that they can really rely on, that, you know, what you see with Metallica is always very honest. It's not, they're not ulterior motives or secret formulas designed to, you know, attract more people or do things, you know, for business or for money or anything like that. That it's always very honest and straightforward. And I think a lot of people can really, you know, associate with that.
What makes them different from, say, you know, Iron Maiden or Judas Priest or Bon Jovi? What makes them different?
Yeah, they're better.
They're better?
Yeah.
Why? Better what? Musicians?
Better looking.
All right, thank you.
My name is Donna Davis, and I'm here with Metallica, the hot new heavy metal band from LA. And let's have them start with their name and what they do in the band. And let's start with you.
James Hetfield, rhythm guitar and vocals.
Lars Ulrich, drums and bongs.
Dave Mustaine, lead guitar. Cliff Burton, bass guitar.
Okay, how long has the band been together as Metallica?
Well, since we started.
Which was what? October 81?
Yeah. The first Metallica. The first Metallica.
Okay. Who are your favorite artists or your main influences? Let's start with you.
Oh, I don't know. There's all kinds of shit. I can't even start to think about it.
Angel Witch. Angel Witch. Faye. Venom. Motorhead.
Rush.
Venom.
Diamond Head. Black Sabbath. Diamond Head. ZZ Top.
Now, your style as a player, obviously you're known for the speed with which you play. What are the other hallmarks of your guitar style?
Well, just a generally, I mean, overall, there's just a general aggression to the music and the way we approach, you know, the instruments. We play with a lot of distortion, a lot of low end, and just a certain feel, an aggressive feel that finds itself throughout all the music. I mean, there won't be any one particular song that we have that's like pretty all the way through. I mean, there's some, like, you know, nice little passages, nice acoustic passages, but sooner or later it gets real heavy and ugly.
Are you influenced by blues players?
Well, me myself, I've listened to quite a few blues guitar players in that, you know, Jimmy Page, Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix, the electric blues players of the late 60s and 70s. I mean, that's my connection with the blues. I never got that deep into it, like, you know, Robert Johnson or Willie Dixon or anything like that, only because when I first started playing guitar, it was easier for me to listen to the electric blues players, and I haven't taken the time out nowadays to listen to that sort of thing. But I'm familiar with, you know, blues licks and blues phrasing, and I play slide guitar. I'm working on slide guitar. Wait, I can't really play slide guitar, but I really tried.
On a future record, maybe?
You know, I was toying around with the idea of playing some slide guitar tonight in a certain song, but depends on how much guts I have to do it.
You mentioned, just as we were starting, that you're a major Zeppelin fan. I'm curious to know, when you look back at the guys who are kind of the fathers of metal music, what do you think about what they're doing today? Like, do you listen to Robert Plant's music and Jimmy Page's stuff today?
Not too much. No, it's the style is a bit far removed from what they were doing together. I think together they're something really special. But nowadays, it's too, like I said, it's too far removed. So I really don't listen to it intensively. I mean, I have Outrider and I have Now and Zen. I listen to it, but it doesn't, you know, strike me as being super special.
Yeah.
Zeppelin were one of a kind.
Could you imagine yourself experimenting with keyboards in the band and that kind of thing, like really altering the Metallica sound at any point?
I don't think, I mean, if we ever decide to do something like that, I don't think we'd alter it too much. It would be just very slight. I can't see us, like, you know, overnight using you know, emulators and synthesizers and triggering and sampled sounds throughout our entire, you know, album. That'd be too much of a step to the left. But I would like to see some sort of musical growth like that. I listened to a band called The Ministry, which is like a industrial band, really angry sounding. Everyone I know doesn't like it except me. I listen to a lot of classical music. I'm trying to learn how to play classical guitar, but it's really difficult. It's taking me a long time, but I'm sticking to it. I listen to a lot of the stuff that I used to listen to when I was younger. I still listen to it, like UFO, Jimi Hendrix, Zeppelin. And then I listen to a lot of dark music, like horror movie soundtracks I love. And I like bands like The Misfits, Sam Hain, stuff like that, Danzig.
Ever since I was, about 9 or 10 years old in Denmark and first started becoming very interested in music and so forth, for some reason drums, I used to start out with these cardboard boxes and these things that you would mix paint with, and just sit and play on these things and never try to play anything specifically structured or anything, but I always used to sit and pretend that I was Ian Pace from Deep Purple, and I always got a big kick out of that. And I think up through the rest of the 70s, every time that most people would stand in front of the mirror and play air guitar, I always found myself, swinging wildly in the air, playing or pretending I was some sort of drummer. So when finally I started getting around to really becoming so interested in it that it was time to do something, I just, went the drum way and, just became very quickly interested in sort of, I didn't want to sit for 5 years and get lessons and learn all that. I was so interested in just playing songs and playing with guitar players and so forth, that as soon as I could count to 4, I started looking for other people to get a band together with. And I don't necessarily recommend that to other people, but it was, I was just so interested in playing in a band that I just sort of jumped over all the sort of beginning learning things and just went straight into playing with other people.
Sometimes it seems there's like 4 guys all soloing at once. How do you keep on top of what the other players are doing while you're on stage?
I would say that I probably slightly have to disagree with what you started out by saying, but because I think that, especially on the last couple albums, we've tried to, the general way of thinking is that we try to do what's best for the overall unit as a whole. And I think a few years ago, a few of us were quite concerned with trying to steal the solo spot, maybe is what you're referring to. And I think that has something to do with not being too confident in your own musicianship and your own musical abilities. And I think that what we've done in the last couple of years is sort of pulled back and realized to start trying to do what's best for the unit as a whole. And I think that, now we overplay when we have to and we sort of underplay when we have to. And, I think it's just better to do what's best for the song as a whole.
Can you tell me how you developed the themes for the new Metallica album?
Most of those just come from hanging out and just, dealing with what's around you and so forth. Obviously, we hang out a lot together, so a lot of those themes just come from, what we talk about when we're together and some of the things that we see around us in, the media and so forth. And if you notice, obviously a lot of the stuff on our last few albums deals with a lot of the things in the present. We don't write about, 16th century dragons or anything like that. Or, we just write about some more realistic things to us and some things that we find interesting about some of the things that go on around us, with just society in general and so forth. And so I think the general topics just come upon when someone stumbles over something that seems to be strong enough to substantiate doing like a full song around it or something.
A
A lot of your music could be open to serious misinterpretation. Is there a way to set up a counteroffensive to that?
Well, I think the best way of doing that is really not thinking about it. I think that once you start thinking about what the outcome is of what you're creating, then I think you're in trouble, or at least I think we're in trouble if obviously if that's how other bands want to do it. I'm not going to say anything about it, but we feel that generally when we create, we sort of have to sort of shut out, you know, everything that goes on around us and really not worry about the consequences or anything like that. Because if you sit down and start thinking, well, this parents group is going to say this, or, you know, these people are going to say this, or maybe this song is only going to appeal to this group of people, or maybe these people over here will be offended, then it's like you're just sort of running around in circles, do you know what I mean? So the best thing for us to do is just when we create, to shut out basically everything around us and stop thinking about the consequences and just do what comes out naturally.
It seems to me, Lars, that rap and metal share that problem of being very popular and yet not getting any radio exposure. Is this the true alternative music of today?
I mean, this stuff with, you know, alternative music and all these categories, I think that the problem I have with most of that stuff is that I don't know actually what it all means, and I'm not sure that anyone else actually does, because I think at the end of the day, everyone has different definitions of you know, what really is, you know, metal, underground metal, hard rock, pop metal, alternative music, you know, the new wavy stuff. And I mean, at the end of the day, does anyone actually really, you know, who sets these barriers? Speaking about what you're saying about, you know, the radio airplay and so forth, I mean, we've just proven that you know, we can sell 2 million records without the aid or depending on video and radio, and does that make us an alternative band like, say, REM or something like that? Who knows? And to be totally honest with you, who cares?
Let's hear it for thrashmetal.
Terry Mulligan, Much Music Canada.
Right on.
Canadian video channel. Are you bummed?
Hey, we got to play. That's a great thing for us.
One step forward, three back.
All forward.
All right. And from here on in, I suppose that it's the same way. I was talking to Kumodi about the rap selections. There's another 5 to 10 bands that you got to nominate on the master list. There's a lot of music being made out there.
It was kind of a weird list of metal contendants. It's really strange.
But what do you figure is the criteria? If you're going to, you know, get it down to what is the criteria for the selection?
What you mean in the heavy metal category? Yeah. I don't know if Jethro Tull belonged in there.
They don't belong there. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe 10 years ago or something. I thought AC/DC was going to win personally.
I was so surprised to see Metallica on the Grammys. Was that a victory just being there?
It was good in that this was the first time that this category was added to the Academy, and it was, you know, it was good for us to play. That was the most important thing. It was actually playing. It wasn't as much winning as it was actually playing and establishing ourselves as a genre that, you know, that is a major force. You know, that actually has something to say, and. I mean, it felt really good, and I felt really honored to be in the band that was picked, you know, to represent this genre.
It seems to me that Metallica is being listed as a major influence on so many other bands today. Do you hear that influence out there?
I hear a lot of things that are reminiscent of things we've done in the past. It's like this: when I was young and influential, I mean, well, I'm not that old, but you know. When I first started out, I was influenced pretty easy. When I first heard Black Sabbath, I thought, wow, you know, this is really cool. And you know, for the next 6 months, everything I wrote sounded like Black Sabbath, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, to imitate is to create. You have to start somewhere. I'm just hoping that through all of this, there will be a band who will cite us as a major influence, who finds a sound all their own.
Father. Each man faces death by himself.
The theme of the song One is particularly bleak. How did that one come about?
It's funny, the word bleak comes up a lot.
A dark vision, shall we call it, you know?
Basically, it just goes back a few years ago to actually way back to when we were doing stuff for the Puppets album. We were just talking about what it would be like to be in a situation which the guy in the song is obviously in, where he basically can't see, hear, or speak, and doesn't have any limbs or anything, just basically shut off from everything that goes on around him. And then we found out that there was a book written about a guy in a similar situation, just set up against the background of World War I, which was obviously this book called Johnny Got His Gun. And that's basically when we took the idea and set it against that background. But just, I think some of those ideas come from, I think a lot of them comes from sort of fear of being trapped in certain situations that you really have no control over.
Oh, please, God, wake me. Just like a piece of meat that keeps on living.
In making the video for the song, how did you integrate the film footage into the performance?
We became aware sometime back in September of last year that there was actually a movie done about the book, and then it was actually directed by old Dalton Trumbo himself, and who wrote the book, obviously. And we got a copy of the movie, which wasn't actually that easy to track down, and looked through it and so forth. And I think somewhere along the lines of watching the movie and so forth, somewhere a few ideas were just born that maybe here was actually sort of the foundation of something that could possibly turn into some sort of very weird and very different, you know, promotional video than what other bands had done. And we got the rights to the movie, and we basically just started talking about, you know, okay, we'll show the band, you know, playing very, very subtly, and, you know, just the way we do when we rehearse, you know, play to each other, not anything big and enormous with big lights and anything like that, just very subtle and very sort of just easy, sort of straightforward stuff. And just basically to try and tell the story of what goes on in this book and this movie without also, which was very difficult to, without just making the song sort of like a musical background for the story. So it was, trying to balance it out was kind of difficult. We knew somewhere along the lines there that we had an idea that was, you know, definitely very original and also quite different from what other people had been doing. And we threw ourselves out into it, knowing all the time the agreement we had with Elektra Records, which was that if this did not work, see ya, straight in the garbage can at their expense. And
nice agreement.
Yeah, it was a good agreement.
It isn't like a lot of these commercial videos where it's just image after image after image after image, and you can just like stare at it, you know, at a daze. This one demands a lot of attention when you look at it, and it's, like I said, it's pretty different, and so I'm really proud of it.
This is Rock Tomato or something?
Yeah, Music Tomato.
Music Tomato.
ニューヨーク州の州都アルバニーで、今日は、メタリカのコンサートがあります。ドラマーのラズに来てもらいました。こんにちは、ハデン。
Okay, hello.
You are going back to Japan. How do you feel?
Great, great. It's I think it's been too long. I think it's been about 2.5 years now, and I know that you see people say this about every place that they go, but up till we went to Japan up in '86, that was definitely the best tour that we'd ever been on, ever, anywhere. And we really just look forward to coming back.
It's great.
Yeah.
Why did you try to make a music video this time?
I think it was basically because that, first of all, because we'd never done one, and it almost became a bit of a challenge to try and see if we could do one our way, on our terms. And then secondly, when we found out about the movie that was done about the book, Johnny Got His Gun, it sort of seemed like there was a chance to do a video that would be really, really different than what any other rock bands have done in the last few years. And then, you know, Metallica, we always like to do things as different as possible. So it just two and two kind of connected, and we started focusing in on the on the chance to really pull off something very different.
I think that video is so effective to the new fans to, understand what Metallica is.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think it's it's just, you know, very different from, you know, not anything against, you know, your Whitesnakes or your Motley Crues, but it's just, it's very different. And I think it is very Metallica, and it was something that we set out to do. We had an agreement with a record company, which was that when the video was done, if we weren't happy with it, we'd just throw it away. So that was quite good. So yes, I'm very happy with it, and I think it is very Metallica. As a matter of fact, there's also, we just finished working on a second version of the video, which is, you know, the same, obviously, song and video, but without any of the story in it. So now there's two different versions. There's the one that has the full story, the story and all the movie clips and the dialogue, and then we just edited one together just with a band playing, you know, just a song in that environment. So there's actually two different ones available now.
What do you try to say to one?
I don't look at it as much as what we're trying to say. It's more really a story. It's an idea that we had actually way back on the Master of Puppets album, where it was like what it would be like to be in a situation where you could not communicate with anyone around you, where you were basically a basket case, just like a living consciousness, kind of where you had no arms, legs, obviously couldn't see, hear, or speak or anything. But there was an idea we had a long time ago, but we couldn't really get on with it from there on until one day when we were writing stuff for the Justice album, I talked to Cliff Bernstein, our manager, and he suggested that there was a book that was set against that same idea called Johnny Got His Gun. And James went out and got it and read it, and then we set that idea against the sort of World War I background and all that. But initially it only started out just as an idea. It wasn't that we read the book and then wanted to write a song about it. It was an idea that we had, and then the book sort of got us going and put the song in the background of the World War I thing and all that. We're not really, I don't really look at it as much as us trying to say anything specific or anything. It's just, it's a story about what it would be like to be in that kind of awful situation, obviously.
But anyway, good video, I think.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, how did you feel, performing at the Grammy?
It was a lot of fun. It was it was a little different, obviously, than the usual Metallica audience, but it was. I think it was. Just, you know us. We always like to try new things, and we'd never actually tried to do anything that, formal or strict or whatever. And it was quite interesting. I was very happy about the performance because we had some sound checks and some rehearsal the day before where everything went wrong. Guitars went out and people forgot the new arrangement of the song. It was really bad, and I thought, oh no, this is, tonight on television, live, Metallica is all over, And then we went out and we actually played the best version of the song that I think that we could play under any circumstances. All the guitars were plugged in right, there were no mistakes, and everyone was very on top of it. So I was very happy about that, definitely. I don't think it could have been any better.
Is there any pressure?
I think the only pressure was, or at least speaking for myself, I was a little nervous. I was nervous about if everything would work right. We only had 6 minutes from to get everything up, and you're dealing with, a lot of people, what's called union, just stage hands, and it's like, oh, this goes into this socket, and they plug it in very wrong, and I think we were all a little worried about the technical side of it, but as soon as we all realized, I think, that everything was actually working, and 15, 30 seconds into the song, everything was okay. We really, I think, opened up and really went for it, which was good.
So, so many fans thought, Metallica would be a winner.
Right.
So.
I think, let's be realistic, and I think the real win for us was being on the show and playing. That, I think, is what's gonna last in people's mind, and who won the award, I think, is going to fade away a lot quicker. You have to remember that most of the people that vote in the Grammy Academy are people that are a lot older than both the fans and the people in the media and the people in the music business. There are people that are like retired, audio engineers and just, slightly older people that are maybe a little less in touch with what goes on at the moment. And you got to remember that when they look at the list and go, okay, Metallica, they go, who the hell is Metallica? And they go, oh, Jethro Tull. I remember Jethro Tull from, 20 years ago when I was young myself, and I better vote for them. So I think we were told by Cliff Bernstein and Mensch that it would probably end up being either AC/DC or Jethro Tull, simply because of what's called the name recognition, which means, you know, oh, here are 5 names. Oh, I recognize the name Jethro Tull more than anyone else. So we were really kind of prepared for it, even though everyone had been building Metallica up to win it. But like I said, I think the most important thing for us was being on the show, and that's what was the good thing. So.
I think, you know, Jay didn't know about what heavy metal, you know, what's hard rock.
It was quite funny because there was an interview with the president of the Academy the day after, and he said that the only thing he was really embarrassed about was the heavy metal category, and he said that usually it takes the Academy a few years to really even understand what the hell the award is for and so forth. But he actually apologized in the LA Times. It was so funny. He was very embarrassed.
Well, you know, you have a platinum album still. How do you feel?
I feel great. It's obviously I feel great. It's very close to double platinum now. It's just under 2 million. As a matter of fact, in the last 6 weeks, it's really starting to pick up again. You know, the album keeps moving up the charts now, and obviously it's very funny that we have a single in the Hot 100.
Right.
Which is obviously very funny. I think this week it's 46, and it's still climbing up. But the album has really picked up in the last 6 weeks, and I think the double platinum looms in the distance, which is nice.
Yeah, I think everybody to watch the video clip you know, and strong impressed from that.
Yeah.
So singles, album,
And also obviously we're doing very much touring right now, and the Grammys. So at the moment everything is very just right with Metallica. So.
Everybody knows Metallica, even mom,
Right.
Well, I think your new album, and just for it's a sound like more live sound. How do you feel?
Yes, definitely. I think
it's very different, muscle puppets.
Yeah, it's a little less polished. I think we wanted to go for something that was a little harder, a little raw, a little punchier this time around in the mix and in the sound. And also I think that the big difference is that this time around we actually had written all the songs and knew all the songs before we went in the studio, and that way we feel the songs a little more when we played them, as opposed to on Master of Puppets. A lot of the songs were only written a few days before we started recording them, so we didn't really know them very well, so they're a little sort of stiff. On the Justice album, I think it's a little more confident, a little more relaxed, because we know the song so well, and I think that makes it sound a little livelier overall.
And also after release album, you joined Monsters of Rock Festival.
Yes.
Do you have any memories of Monsters of Rock?
I have many memories. Yeah, I mean, it was. I think it was a great thing for us to be associated with. I think we were the band of all of them that probably got the most out of it and probably had the most to gain. And I think that it was a lot of fun for us. We were with the Dawkins guys every day, and we have the same management of them, so we would travel with Dawkins every day and same hotels and everything, and that was a lot of fun. And the shows, we would go on at 4 in the afternoon, when we were barely even awake yet. But it was good, and I think it really sort of set up, all the stuff that happened with the Justice album taking off in September, and the way that we're doing so well with the tour now and everything. You really have to say that the Monsters tour had a lot to do with that, obviously. So it was very good.
I see. Japanese audience, they're very interested about your new stage set.
Right.
Tell me about.
Well, basically, what we're doing is we want to bring the whole set over to Japan, and unfortunately, I hear in some of a couple of the smaller venues, I don't know if we can get the whole thing in as usual, but I know at the Tokyo shows we'll definitely be able to put the whole thing on. I don't want to give too much of it away, and I'm sure they've seen some pictures of it already, but it basically obviously evolves around the front cover of the Injustice for All album, and we're just trying to do something that's a little bit, different. It's I think it plays more on stuff like moods and on feels, and the guy who, our lighting guy who runs the whole thing, it plays very much with each song is different in the overall lighting. And so it's not like the whole, you go out on the first number, everything is just the same for the next 2 hours. It's like the lights are very, very different from every song, and it's just, it sort of gets built up and then sort of kind of gets unbuilt back down. And it's, I like to look at it that it's a little bit different than what most other metal bands have been doing in the last couple of years. It's a little more moodier, and it plays a lot on the moods of the songs and so forth. And you know, we're trying to bring as much of it. I think at the Tokyo shows we'll be able to have everything, but at some of the Nagoya and the Osaka shows, which are very small stages, but you know, we try and bring as much as we can, and we'll do our best.
Everybody, you know, excited about that, you know. How was that idea come along?
I think it
built up and
it just basically came, I think, from both John Broderick, which was our lighting designer. We told him that we really wanted something that was very different than what other metal bands have been doing, and obviously, you know, he connected in on the cover and so forth. I think that we actually do, even though I don't like to. We also have to give a little credit to Peter Mensch, because he's very good with ideas like that. So Peter Mensch definitely too came up with some of the ideas.
というわけですけども、じゃあ最後に日本のファンにメッセージをもらおうと思います。Could you give a message to Japanese audience?
Japanese audience, hello. Well, I think the best thing to say is just that we're really, really looking forward to coming back there again. Like I said, our tour in November of '86 was the best tour and the most fun that we'd had up to that point in time. And I think 2.5 years to be away from Japan is way too long. And it's great to see, obviously, that the tickets are selling so well that we've added the second Tokyo show, which we're very happy about. And we'll be over for about 2 weeks, so let's have a good time. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much indeed.
Okay.
Okay, we need 3 different
IDs, yeah.
First one is Pure Rock.
Pure Rock, Tomato.
Yeah, still rolling anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah, identify yourself and you're watching Pure Rock.
Okay. Yo, this is Lars from Metallica, and you're watching the Pure Rock show right here. No, it's just Pure Rock, not any TV station or anything?
Just Pure Rock is fine.
Pure Rock? Okay. Yo, this is Lars from Metallica, and you're watching the Pure Rock show. We'll go number 3. Yo, this is Lars from Metallica, and you're watching Pure Rock.
Music Tomato World.
Oh, God. Okay. Yo, this is Lars from Metallica, and you're watching Music Tomato World.
Funky Tomato.
Oh, my God. Okay, yo, this is Lars from Metallica, and you're watching The Funky Tomato Show.
And 1 radio ID, please.
Okay.
Please.
今度ギタリストのですね、ジェームスとインタビューしてみようと思いますけども。You just wake up?
Yeah, a little while ago.
How's it going tour?
Good.
Good?
Yeah, we've been out for quite a while now, almost a whole year, you know, since the Monsters of Rock thing.
Right.
And things are going good.
Yeah.
We're selling out here and there and just doing our thing.
That's great. You're going back to Japan. How do you feel?
Yeah, great. We always liked Japan. I mean, we were only there for 10 days last time, so
yeah, right.
A little longer this time.
I'm very interested about your music video 1. Why did you try to make a music video this time?
Well, everyone was saying that Metallica will never do a video,
Right.
so now we go, okay, let's do one. And I don't know, it was the right song, it was the right time, and we had some good ideas to, you know, put along with the song for the video. And it was just the right time.
And I'm very interested about demo version of 1.
Yeah,
demo version. Because I think the 4 tracks or something? 4 tracks.
On the demo?
Yeah. Demo version of 1.
Yeah.
I think, you know, coming soon, right? Release.
Yeah. It'll be on the B-side of something.
Right. Tell me about the story.
Well, it's on, you know, a little 4-track machine, the Fostex, and like there's no bass on it, there's no I did a lot of the lead stuff on it, and it was just me and Lars just trying to get the song together. And there were basically demos for our management and record company just to tell them, hey, we're working on stuff and here it is. And just thought it'd be a, kind of different to put that on the B-side of something. There's not all the lyrics are there, so it's like, nah, There's no lyrics and, the leads are crap, Just something different.
Is that recorded studio? No.
No, it was in our garage. And it was just, 2 microphones plugged in. And just me and Lars, basically.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
And also, music video 1. I think that video is so effective to the new fans, to understand what Metallica is. What do you think?
Well, I definitely think it's a good one to show what we're all about. That we, there's some kind of message in the song. It's not just rock, and chicks walking and all that. The song is from that, the book and the movie Johnny Got His Gun, and there's a long version and there's a shorter version they've done. Once you see the short version, after you see the long version, it's not as good, but the long version tells the story a lot better, but still in the short version you can make out what's going on. And it's pretty heavy topic, and some of the stuff's, pretty tough.
Right. And why did you use so many footage of movie?
Just to basically tell the story a bit better on maybe some people might not catch on what's going on really, and just showing the footage. I mean, it's real different too, because there's a lot of the movie, and at times it's like we're doing the soundtrack to this movie. It's just different.
What do you try to say through when?
What are we saying? Well, I mean, it's just basically that story about the guy who was in the war, and it's just at the end how no one, really cares.
Right.
After the war, he's just like there. He's just like a brain living in this thing, and he's trying to communicate, and no one can understand. He wants, them to kill him, but he can't. He's got this iron lung thing keeping him going and all this, and at the end, he thinks they're trying to communicate to him, but then he just feels something in him, and they're just pinning this metal on him, and he's going, oh no, kill me, and
right.
It's pretty heavy.
I think the Japanese audience really, strong impact from one, music video 1, even, who don't like heavy metal music, I think.
That's good, yeah. So it's been playing over there, the video?
Yeah, it's great. And I'm very interested about, Grammy Award.
Me too.
How did you feel performing Grammy?
We were a little nervous.
Nervous?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, live in front of, millions of people.
And also, lots of famous, musicians there, right?
Yeah, there were some people, watching us that, didn't even know who we were, or, Stevie Wonder and, all these other people. But for us, that was definitely a great thing. I mean, even though we didn't win, I mean, playing on the thing was such a great thing.
Right.
But it was just weird at the end, Jethro Tull.
I think, they didn't know about what is heavy metal, right?
No, it's a real new category for them. Right. So they didn't really know what was really happening in the heavy metal, or they're older people, in Nashville, and they're producers, musicians, and older kind of people who haven't really latched onto the new kind of thing yet. So it's pretty typical, that they won. They might have won 10 years ago or something, but now, it was pretty weird.
I think nominate is very strange, The Metallica AC/DC is all right, but, Iggy Pop, Jethro, the Gen Addiction,
It was very strange, and that just goes, to show how they didn't really know what was going on. It was a new thing for them, and the guy came on later and explained, that it was a new thing, and they didn't really understand what was going on yet in that category.
Yeah, but you know I watch on TV. You know, lots booing. You know.
Yeah, cut to a commercial quick. You know.
Yeah.
And
So
just boo. Yeah, it was a lot of fun though. I mean, we got to see what really goes on. You know, behind the scenes. You know, during commercials, people are running around. You know, and everyone sit down and all this and. But it was cool because we get to do our own thing, you know, with our lighting, with our, you know, we had these pyro things. I don't know, have you seen the? Yeah. All right. So we get to do our own thing basically, so it didn't look all the same, you know, like all the other acts up there flashing lights, wow, 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 you know. It was kind of a mysterious thing, which was cool.
But so many fans thought, you know, Metallica would be, you know, winner, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody.
So did we. You know, I thought AC/DC, you know, was gonna win, basically, you know, but. You know, we were joking backstage. Yeah, Jethro Tull, you know. Woo! But once we got rolling up there playing, it was good. We had a lot of fun.
Right. And the album, you know, Justice, you have almost 2 million, right? In the States.
Something like that. Yeah.
How do you feel? It's great.
Yeah, great. You know, really good. Radio's starting to play a little bit of One, the single One. A lot of the stations. The radio stations are finding out that, hey, you know, Metallica is something they have to deal with. And so they're changing their format for us, you know. So that's good. I mean, we've stuck to our principles and we're getting, you know, bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I very strange feeling because, you know, single One, you know, it's a very, very good in chart, right? So I'm very strange feeling, you know, it's a Metallica album which is not single chart. It's very strange feeling.
The singles, yeah. This is just kind of
That's good, you know.
Hey, doing it our way, and you know, if that, you know, whatever happens, that's cool. You know, as long as it's done our way. People changing to us, not us, you know, changing.
Right. I think, you know, new young fan, you know, join your Metallica field. I think young heavy metal fans. I think, you know, will buy the single, and you know, radio and TV, you know, to watch the One.
Yeah, it's just a little more exposure, you know. The Grammys thing, definitely, and you know, the video.
Even my father knows Metallica, you know.
All right.
How about your family? Watch the TV?
Yeah, they saw the Grammy thing, and you know, my dad called me up at the hotel. Oh, you guys get ripped off, you know. Jethro, who? You know. My dad, you know, he's just Metallica, you know. Yeah, he's behind us.
That's great. Well, and also Japanese fan very interested about your new stage set. So tell me about this.
It's bigger, and there's a lady, and I don't know how much of the stuff we're gonna get to bring over to Japan, but we'll definitely have like all we can bring. You know, the Lady Justice. It's like kind of a court building, like the front, and it's just like a federal building that's kind of crumbled down, and just goes along with the subject matter on the album.
How is the set list? Almost songs from new album? No.
No, there's, I mean, a bit from each album. We play about 5 or 6 new songs though, 5 songs, but we play about 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. Oh, very tough.
Yep. But I mean, our songs are long, and we want to play a lot of songs, and then, I mean, people get their money's worth, you know.
And you said, you know, Monsters Rock because, you know, you toured the Monsters Rock before headliner show, right? Do you have any good memory or bad memory of the Monsters Rock festival?
It was just a lot of fun. I mean, touring the summer in the United States is a lot of fun. And the bands were really cool. We hung out a lot, and it was just really weird us going on at like 2 in the afternoon or 3, you know. By the time, you know, it was nighttime, we were all, you know, either passed out or gone or something, but no. There was, I mean, a few raging times, you know, just getting up jamming at bars here and there, you know, with some of the, you know, Dawkins guys or whoever. You just get up at a local bar and, you know, jam or whatever. It's a lot of fun.
And you touring with the Queensryche, it's the same management. How do you feel about the Queensryche? Because the Queensryche, you know, touring Japan same time as Metallica. May.
Is it the same time or just before?
Just before,
Yeah.
just before.
They're a good band. I mean, they really on stage their sound is really. I mean, they try and represent the album sound as good as possible. I mean, they sound really good, and they're tight. They're a good band for what they do.
じゃあ最後に日本のファンにメッセージをもらうと思いますけど、まもなく日本にやってきますけどもね。Could you give me some message to Japanese audience?
Hey, we're gonna be there soon and warm up the sake, and, you know. Yeah, we can't wait to get there. We've been waiting a while.
ということですけども、鼻にピアスしてますけど、ちょっと聞いてみましょうか。してwhen you get pierced?
Just after the Grammys.
Any reasons?
I don't know. It's different.
Dedicated to Grammy hours?
Yeah, this is for Jethro, you know. Nah, I just felt like doing it. Something to do. I was bored.
そういうことなそうですけど。
Okay, couple of ID, please.
All right.
TV show. One is Pure Rock. Identify yourself. And you're watching Pure Rock.
All right.
待ってますね。はい。Still rolling anytime.
Hey, this is James from Metallica, and you're watching Pure Rock.
Music Tomato World.
All right. That's a good one. Hey, this is James from Metallica, and you're watching Music Tomato World.
Great. はい、これです。
はい。ベーシストのジェイソンにいろいろ話を聞いてみようと思いますけども、ツアーどんな感じで回ってるのかちょっと聞いてみようと思いますけども、How's going tour?
Great.
Great?
We're crushing everyone.
And also, you know, you're going back to Japan. How do you feel?
Great. It's going to be excellent. We're looking forward to it. You know, the first time I was there was like, I just joined the band and stuff, so I was still kind of, you know, this time the band is so much stronger and, you know, really got it together now, so we're all looking forward to it.
Right.
We're playing at some new place over there and everything, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you told me you played in Japan right after you joined the Metallica.
Yeah, like
right?
11 days or something
11
else.
days, yeah. How did you feel? Is there any pressure?
A lot of pressure.
Yeah?
It was, I mean, you know, I didn't even sleep for the first 3 months anyway that I was in the band. You know, I was like, I couldn't believe it, you know. So then going to Japan, that was a big thing for me. That was like a goal that I had set for myself before that, and then immediately to go there, you know, it's like, wow. So this time I have a bit more control, you know, and I feel a bit more confident with the band, so I think it's going to be much better, much better.
That's great.
Yeah.
Do you think sound of Metallica has changed after you joined the band?
Yeah, in a way. You know, it's still very distinguishable. I mean, you can tell it's Metallica like that. But I think, you know, Cliff and I have such far different playing styles, you know, and stuff that it's naturally going to be a little bit different. But I personally don't think the band has ever been stronger than this. I think that Metallica is definitely stronger than it's ever been. Indestructible.
You told me, you know, this tour was great, but do you have any episode during this tour?
Do I have any
episode?
Bad, you mean? Bad or just
bad
in
or
general?
In general, both.
Not really. We've been keeping pretty controlled, actually. I mean, there hasn't been any kind of huge wild road stories or anything because we're doing a lot of shows, you know. I mean, we're doing 200 and some shows on this tour, right, within a year or something. And so we're really trying to keep ourselves together as far as, you know, I mean, like the drinking and, you know, getting in trouble and that kind of stuff. We're really trying to think positively because we want to be as good as we possibly can be. Everybody has it in their mind now that we have to go out there and do this. This is our big chance, you know, this is our big headlining tour, and we have to show everybody what it's all about, prove to them that we can do it. And so we're very conscious of that, you know, so there hasn't really been a whole lot of, you know, stereotype road instances, you know, like real nutty stuff or anything. There's a few things in Europe, you know, tipping over cars and, you know, fun things like that. But other than that, I think that had a lot to do with the Danzig guys were out on tour with us too. You know, the Misfits guys, yeah. So.
Wow. You know, you played the Monsters Broke People headliner show.
Right.
Do you have any good memory of the Monsters?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the memory isn't that good because there was, you know, that was like weekend shows only. So during the week, you know, it was but I mean, it was a great experience and such a good thing for us. We won over a lot of new fans, you know, and it really kind of started the ball rolling for just in time for the Justice album to come out, and you know, really just to start moving right along to fit right in with this headlining tour and everything. It was a great thing. Van Halen guys, excellent, just real nice to us all the time, and very friendly and very encouraging, you know, really behind us. They really liked what we were doing, and so it was a good feeling, really good vibe for the whole time. The 30 shows or whatever, everyone was real good.
And also, why did you try to make a music video this time?
I think it just came to the point that we found something that was strong enough to, you know, enough of a storyline and that we could, that would represent Metallica. You know, we thought about it for a long time. We'd wanted to do one for a long time, you know, but we really hadn't found something that we thought was going to be able to really do it, you know, really make a mark, really be unique. So finally, when we came up with all, you know, the Johnny Got His Gun with the book and then the movie following that and everything, there was enough there that it was going to be strong. So we went ahead and gave it a try, and it came out pretty good. So, you know, we're all proud of it now, very proud of it.
I think this video is so effective to the new fans, you know, to understand what Metallica is.
Right, I agree. Yeah, it's yeah, like I say, it represents us. I mean, it's right there. It's not really the most uplifting, nice, happy thing, but it's nonetheless real. You know, it's very to the point and has kind of a good message to it. You know.
Yeah, I think new fan bought a record. You know.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Right? Yeah, it helped. It helped.
And also, I'm very interested about Grammy Awards. So, how did you feel performing in Grammy?
It was great. I mean, it was really
lots of famous, you know, musician there.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. When we went for, you know, a couple days of dress rehearsal prior to the show, and up in the theater, you know, it was like a regular theater with the seats going like that, and in the places where these people were gonna sit, they had their poster boards with their 8x10 promo shots, you know, pasted to there, and that's sitting in that chair. So we're looking out there and we're playing, you know, and there's Joe Cocker, you know, Rod Stewart, Quincy Jones, Stevie Wonder, AC/DC, you know, just like all these people just go, holy shit, you know, whoa, whoa. So it was pretty weird. And then to actually, for when it came down, you know, it's like there's all these guys running around with their headsets on, you know, like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, panic. You know, and everybody's like, wow. It's really, really weird thing to watch it all go down, because for years, as a kid, you know, you watch it on TV and you see it and it's all glitzy, woo, woo, you know. And then when you see it all happen, see behind the scenes, it becomes, you know, much more,
it's fun.
Yeah, it's like, you see how it really goes down. It's not so huge and, you know, it's like real stuff. So definitely interesting experience, very interesting.
But, you know, so many fans thought Metallica would be a winner.
Everybody did. Yeah. When I did an interview with my friend over here, just, you know, just prior to that, you know, I'm going, yeah, we're going to win. What about it? You know, we knew, and I was like, we knew that we were going to win. Everybody's telling, you guys got it, man. You guys got it in the bag. You know, and then when it finally came down, we couldn't believe it. You know, it's like, because we were a bit too overconfident, you know. When it finally came down, we're just going, what? You know, no way, no way. But then after about 10 minutes, we calmed down and, you know, realized that, figure out who's voting for this and who actually nominated the people to begin with. And, you know, sorry, we'll get them next time.
Yeah, I think, you know, they you know, didn't understand what's heavy metal, you know.
Yeah, that's true. You know, that was like the first year for the category, and they're still kind of, you know, they're not quite sure. But we did good. I mean, it's like 50 million people watching.
Right.
And we played good, and you know, everybody just kind of going, what? You know, Stevie Wonder, right in the front row. He's right in the front row, and we're just looking at him. He's like, he's got his brow, you know, it's all crossed out like this. He's going, man, what the hell is that noise, man? You know, it's like, how can people like this shit, man? You know, it's like, it was nuts. So, pretty nutty.
Yeah.
It was a good time though. Really good time. Good experience.
I think Grammy is, you know, good publicity of Metallica.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, you know, 5 million people, you know.
50 million, yeah.
You know, even your family.
Right, yeah, my mom and dad came out there, yeah.
What he said?
My dad, like when we lost, he said that he booed louder than anybody, and because it was a huge, you know, when we first came on, it was louder than I ever expected. People, you know, I thought it was going to be like, you know, but it was like, we're going, what? And then after they announced that we lost, this huge booing came over the whole crowd. And the guys go, Joe, commercial, commercial, commercial. You know, like freaking out, man, because I didn't want to have to go over the TV, you know? It was great. It was great.
Good experience.
Yeah, and everybody knew. I mean, everybody knew what was supposed to happen. And you could tell by the boos. Yeah, so.
I don't know. I mean, the new fans very interested about, you know, the Metallica on Grammy. What do you think of core fans, the maniacs?
You know, there's always going to be a few that are saying, oh, you guys selling out, what are you doing, national TV? You know, they're not willing to accept it. But it's just, I mean, I want them to look at it like a positive thing. I mean, we're doing this for everybody. We're not just doing it for us. You know, we're not just doing it to be, oh, whoopee, TV stars, whatever. We're doing it for you know, the metal thing, the movement, you know, the whole thing. Metallica has been at the forefront of the whole scene anyway, right? So it would only be right that we're the ones to represent that kind of music on that big of a scale. So, you know, I think that if they're going to be that close-minded and thick-headed about it, then that's dumb. That doesn't really matter. I think that they should be behind us. If they're behind us, they should be behind us all the way. You know, and it was we wouldn't have went and did it if we thought it was going to be some stupid thing. It was something, you know, for real and something that meant a lot. You know, it was breaking down a big wall there because before. A couple years ago, people would never even have heard, you know, they would never even have thought of that. They go, what? That kind of music on TV? What, are you kidding? You know? But, I mean, I think that we made the right move. It was our decision, and I think that the kids that should accept it, even the hardcore maniacs, they should accept it because we felt it was right, and if we didn't, we wouldn't have done it. So they should go along with us.
じゃあ最後に、日本のファンにメッセージをね、もらおうと思います。まもなく日本に行きますからね。Could you give me some message Japanese audience?
Hi, we're gonna be there soon, my friends, and you better be ready because we're gonna crush again. It'll be fun.
Okay. ID もらってください。
Okay, 2 IDs, please. Music Tomato World and Pure Rock.
Music Tomato World again?
And the Pure
I don't understand that. Oh, it's okay. Anyway, so just
identify yourself.
you're watching music. Okay.
Okay. I don't know.
Can I hide them?
Yeah. You want me to? Okay.
I can get away with it. Ready? Hello. This is Jason Newsted from Metallica. You're listening to Music Tomato World.
And Pure Rock.
Hi. This is Jason from Metallica, and you are watching Pure Rock. Hey, on the first one, did I say listening to?
Yeah, watching.
Did I say, I didn't say watching on tomato, did I?
Listeners there.
I said listening, yeah, I better do tomato, okay. Hello, my friends. This is Jason from Metallica, and you're watching Music Tomato World.
Hello.
はい。ここアルバニーのバックステージのシャワールームでございますけども、出番中のカー君ちょっといろいろインタビューしてみましょう。How are you doing?
Pretty good. Doing pretty good.
How's it going too?
Really good.
Yeah?
Yeah, really good. I'm surprised. The audiences have been great, and it's just been a lot of fun. Now that we have this is our first headlining tour.
Right.
Things are a lot different now. We're in control of a lot of over what goes on, and things have been running really smoothly, and you know, just going along.
I found lots of cat picture here. So you like cats?
I like cats. Yeah. But those are our wardrobe lady, Allie's cats.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I have a cat named Clouseau. It's like the Persian Himalayan. Cool cat.
Yeah. And also you are very interested about, I mean, the Japanese cartoon, right? Devilman.
Debbie Dooman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why you like the Japanese cartoon? Sounds like a Godzilla.
Yeah, the animation is really good. I like Atom Boy a lot too. Atom Boy and Debbie Dooman and Captain Horlock are probably my favorite when it comes to Japanese cartoons. But the animation's really good. It's done very well. And Gonagai is a very good artist. And me and Pusshead are big fans of Japanese animation and cartoons.
You have lots of, Japanese cartoon promoter or something?
In my
Collectors?
Yeah, in my at my house I have a lot of Japanese toys and a lot of Japanese videotapes of cartoons, and I have a few Japanese pen pals who when we go over to Japan I'll be seeing them, and sometimes they come over here too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Pretty fun.
You played Little Wings on the stage, right?
Yeah.
Is that one of the roots of your guitar style?
Well, I've always liked Jimi Hendrix, and I like that song quite a bit. So it was decided that maybe we should try and work it into the open solo, because it changes things around a little bit, and it changes the whole mood of the guitar solo. Instead of just someone standing there playing guitar for 15 minutes, this is a part where the rest of the band could come in as an accompaniment, and it just works really good. It just shifts the mood of the guitar solo.
I asked everybody, but I asked you again. I mean, how did you feel performing in the Grammy Award?
I was very, very, very nervous.
Yeah?
Yeah. The reason why I was nervous is because we had a dress rehearsal that morning, and it was an on-camera dress rehearsal, which meant the camera was on us while we were rehearsing, and my guitar didn't come on till halfway through the song, and my monitor wasn't plugged in, and I just thought, oh God, I hope this doesn't happen tonight on camera, in front of 30 million people. So that's what made me so nervous, is the fact that there was that was James, everyone. There's a possibility that my instrument might not be working, but I mean, other than that, it was pretty cool. It was different.
But so many fans, it would be, thought it would be the Metallica's winner,
Yeah. I mean, I expected someone like AC/DC to win or something like that. But when Jethro Tull won it, my jaw dropped. I went, huh? Couldn't believe it. It was a shock. I was amazed.
So fans, everybody was really surprised?
Yeah, everyone in the entire building, I think, was surprised. It was really amazing.
How about your parents?
My parents are there. My mother was there. Yeah. I brought her there so she can see her son on the Grammys. And she was, when they announced Jethro Tull, she was part of the people who started booing. Just kidding.
Well, you are going back to Japan soon.
Yes.
How do you feel?
It's gonna be great. I'm staying in Japan 2 extra days, so me and Pusshead can go.
Really?
Yeah. So could visit some friends and do some toy shopping.
Toy shopping?
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah. Meet Gonagai, and gonna have a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Of course, it's been 2 years since we've last been there, and I have a big list of things that I want to get. There's these models that are made in Japan called Billiken models, and they're really nice. The detail and craftsmanship is excellent, and that's one of the main things I'm going to be getting when I go over there.
Wow, it's fun.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Okay, Rasen, could you give me a message to Japanese audience phone call?
Hello, guys and girls. Can't wait to see you in Japan. It's gonna be great. Yeah. Is that it? Hello, this is Kirk Hammett from Metallica, and you're watching Pure Rock.
And Adam, it's called Music Tomato World.
Music Tomato World. Okay. Hello, this is Kirk Hammett of Metallica, and you're listening to Pure Tomato World. Did I say that right?
Music.
And watching. Okay.
Oh yeah, Music Tomato World.
Hello, this is Kirk Hammett from Metallica, and you're listening to Music Tomato World. You're watching Music Tomato World. Jesus Christ. Okay, one more time, okay? This is Kirk Hammett from Metallica, and you're watching Music Tomato World. Are you choking yet? Are you? Aren't you? Whatever. It actually.
So you guys want to hear some old shit now? cannot see that there's not much left of me. Nothing is real but me now. Hold my breath as I wish for death. Oh, please, God, hurt me. Back in the room, it's much too real. In comes life that I must feel, but can't look forward to reveal. Look at the time when I live, fed through the tube that sticks in me, just like a one-time novelty, tied to machines that make me be. Cut this shit off from me. Hold my breath as I wish for death. Oh, please, God, wake me. But can't look forward to reveal.
you get the album Kill 'Em All? Yeah? Can I borrow it? I fucking lost mine. All right. Well, if you know the song, fucking sing along with us. If not, then fuck you. This one's entitled Seek and Destroy. Right there.
get